Welcome to Warrior Canine Connection's 2025 virtual graduation ceremony. Thanks to your support, we've been able to grow our program and change the lives of service members, veterans, and military families through our mission-based trauma recovery training programs. Today, we celebrate our incredible 2025 graduates and the community that makes it all possible. But first, please rise for our national anthem, performed by the U.S. Army Field Band. Each year during our graduation celebration, we present a select few Wag of the Tail Awards. First presented in 2013, these awards have become a cherished tradition to honor those individuals who propel WCC's work with veterans. This year, WCC is proud to present our first Wag of the Tail Award to Marine Corps veteran Tom Callanan, who has been a part of WCC's story from the very beginning. When WCC was just an idea, Tom offered mentorship, guidance, and financial support to make it a reality. During his recent Marine Corps reunion, we were honored to welcome Tom and his wife Marge to the WCC Healing Quarters, where we presented him with the Lifetime Achievement Wag of the Tail Award. Thank you, Tom, for all you have done to make WCC what it is today. Our second award goes to a new partner, May Philanthropies. Based in Florida and the California Bay Area, the foundation drives change in mental health, research, education, and community, with a special focus on expanding access to life-changing service dogs and elevating their role in mental health and wellness. Last year, May Philanthropies made a multi-year commitment to help WCC deliver animal-assisted therapy at VA hospitals and other sites, and to place service dogs with veterans living with mobility and psychological injuries from their service. We are proud to honor May Philanthropies for its impact on veteran rehabilitation in California and beyond. Accepting on behalf of May Philanthropies is President and former service dog owner, Barb Izzo. Congratulations. Our final Wag of the Tail Award goes to Tee It Up for the Troops. Their first gift to a young WCC in 2014 helped place service dogs and deliver animal-assisted therapy to veterans nationwide. Since then, they've supported WCC every year, making them one of our longest-standing partners. Through a vast volunteer network, Tee It Up hosts charity golf events, troop reunions, and fundraisers for America's veterans. Over the years, they've provided $18 million to organizations like WCC, impacting more than 360,000 heroes. Congratulations to all three of our Wag of the Tail Award recipients.
Hi, I'm Rick Yount, founder and executive director of Warrior Canine Connection. Thank you so much for joining us today to celebrate our 14th graduating class. Today we're celebrating our incredible graduates, both our veterans and the service dogs they've been partnered with, who will accompany them on their journey of recovery. See, here at WCC, placing service dogs isn't our only goal. In fact, all of the dogs that are in our program are having a positive impact on the veterans who are learning to train our dogs as part of our mission-based trauma recovery program. We are currently in the design phase of a new building that we call the Puppy Enrichment Center. This new building will allow us to not only breed more puppies, but also create an environment that's safe and will allow these pups to flourish. And of course, we know that more puppies equals more support for our veterans and their families. WCC names all of our pups after veterans. It's been a proud tradition for us to keep their names being spoken, their stories told, and to preserve their legacies. As you may remember, about 2 years ago, one of our pups was named in honor of Maryland's Governor, Wes Moore. Puppy Wes was trained here at WCC by many veterans, including those at the Jessup Correctional Institute. And now it's my honor to introduce you to not only Maryland's governor, but also combat veteran and steadfast supporter of veterans and their families, Governor Wes Moore.
Good morning, everybody. I am honored to celebrate Warrior Canine Connections graduating class of 2025. The state of Maryland is home to more than 360,000 veterans who play a vital role in the health and the vitality of our state. And as a combat veteran and a former Army captain, I know the lifelong impact of service and the enduring wounds that sometimes can be left behind. From the moment I took office, we've been committed to making Maryland a shining example of how America takes care of our service members and our families. And both our nation and our state would be incomplete without these heroes and their service. The veteran graduates in today's ceremony exemplify the selflessness and valor that we've come to expect from service members. But for them, the price of freedom can be high. They've sacrificed so they can take care of our nation. And friends, it is now our turn to take care of them. And that's why I'm thankful for Maryland nonprofit organizations like the Warrior Canine Connection for providing veterans with the support and the resources and the tools that they need to heal. From its headquarters on Maryland State Parkland, the WCC's program has changed the lives of so many across the country, helping more than 12,000 warriors recover, reconnect, and thrive through the power of purpose-trained service dogs. And 2 years ago, I had a chance to visit WCC to see their incredible work firsthand. And during the visit, I was introduced to Wes, a handsome young Labrador named in my honor. Now, their tradition of naming puppies in honor of veterans began in 2012 and ensures that the names and the stories and the proud military service of our veterans is remembered. Although I received a few tributes and awards over the years, having a WCC puppy named in my honor may be amongst my favorites. But today isn't just about the dogs. It's about hope and strength and community. And to my fellow veterans, thank you for your service and for your sacrifice. I wish you the very best as you begin the next chapter with your trusted battle buddy. I'm in full gratitude for everyone involved in supporting the WCC, the many nonprofit and government partners, the generous Maryland businesses providing critical resources, and especially the veterans and volunteers who have helped train these amazing service dogs. Thank you for being a hero, for a hero. The state of Maryland looks forward to continuing our partnership to sustain the life-changing work happening at WCC and to bring the healing power of dogs to even more of our nation's veterans. So, congratulations to the Warrior Canine Connection class of 2025.
And now, it's time to introduce the proud graduates of Warrior Canine Connection's class of 2025.
My name is Sue Baker, and I served in the Air Force, and this is my service dog, Bojo. I believe we're gonna get real good bonding at home. I've kind of planned my life around him at this point to be able to have time with him, bonding and grooming and everything else so that we'll be spending all our time together. His eye contact is something else. I think the biggest thing is just being to have more freedom, feeling like my world's going to open up more than it has been, being able to have the confidence now with him by my side that I can get out and do things on my own, you know, without worry of anybody else because I have him with me. I'm very happy that he's named after a fellow veteran and also a fellow Air Force veteran. So he's actually named after Colonel Michael Johannick. He retired from the Air Force, spent a lot of his time in the military and with a lot of amazing jobs. And I can't even begin to tell you all of them, but I say Wojo kind of got some smarts from Colonel Michael Johannick. I'm thankful for the puppy raisers, for the people that handled the whelping, and you know, I mean, it takes a village, and you know, it was a great village that raised Wojo to have him match with me. So I'm, you know, just over the moon. I can't express thanks in enough words of how much I feel grateful to everybody that had a hand in Wojo.
WCC's Wojo is named in honor of United States Air Force Colonel Michael Wojo Johannick, who dedicated 28 years to serving our nation as a career intelligence officer. His work took him around the world, leading teams, directing intelligence operations, and supporting missions from Northern Watch to Iraqi freedom. Wojo's training was made possible by puppy raisers Florence Scarinci and Deb Shurman. Thank you both for your love and dedication to Wojo.
Hi, my name is LaTanya Baldwin, U.S. Army Specialist, retired, and this is my service dog, Rooney. Everybody have their own definition of what a normal life is like, but to me, I've been living in an abnormal life for so long where I don't go a lot of, different places, don't hang around other people. I feel like I'm always an outsider because I feel strange because of my PTSD and because of, my anxiety. I feel strange because I react in certain ways. And really makes me feel so much more comfortable, and he makes me feel so much better when I'm with him, relaxed. And he takes my focus off of that I'm hoping I can move into a more normal life, as in being around other people without feeling like everybody's staring at me because I have a problem. A lot of the stress cues, I didn't even realize myself and what I was doing, like the shaking of the leg. I tend to put my hands over the bottom of my face like this. And he would come up to me, lick me, and break me out. And I would come back to and realize I had zoned out. Rooney helps me to calm them down so that now I feel like they're not seen by others. We've only been in training a week, but it's like I've known him for months. I'm looking forward to being able to go out in public. Even when we went to a couple of places just for dinner. I don't go out to dinner a lot of times, and sit in public and eat. So I'm really looking forward to being able to go out. And I'm glad he was trained by veterans, because who understands a veteran but another veteran? He has been trained well, just the time with me. And traumas happen in different ways, and feelings are, you go through so many different feelings. I'm not saying civilians don't, and I'm not saying civilians don't need a service dog, but I'm saying to go through that training with a veteran, knowing what another veteran has been through already, has made him so much of a better dog for me.
WCC's Rooney is named in honor of two remarkable brothers, U.S. Marine Corps Major Brian Rooney and U.S. Army Captain Thomas Rooney. Both served our nation with distinction. Brian as a Marine Corps attorney who deployed to Iraq, and Thomas as an Army JAG officer who later taught law at West Point and served in Congress. Their shared legacy of leadership, service, and dedication to others makes it a true honor to have a WCC dog carry their name. Passing Rooney's leash is puppy raiser Terry Bates. Congratulations, Terry, and thank you for your unwavering support and dedication to WCC's Rooney.
Hi, my name is Nancy. This is my service dog, Moscow. I am a retired Sergeant First Class U.S. Army. Well, I had called to just, touch base. I think a week or two later, they called back and said they had a match for me, and I was like, I didn't know what to say. I couldn't speak because I was just shocked. I guess you could say I was waiting for another 6 months or so, because in my mind, it's like there's somebody worse off than me that needs a service animal. But yep, I was happy. We had an individualized outing and we went kayaking. It went very well, better than I expected, although at one point he did suddenly sit up and we were just like almost went into the water. But it was fun, he did well. I got him to scooch back down and we continued on our journey, didn't we, Moscow? I want to say thank you for all their assistance, all the trainers' assistance, and knowledge and everything that they've poured into Moscow's training as well. I can't even express how grateful I am to have this opportunity.
WCC's Moscow is named for Navy Lieutenant Christopher Moscow, whose commitment to service was inspired by his family and the events of 9/11. As an explosive ordnance disposal officer, he courageously supported disaster relief efforts and led combat missions before his ultimate passing in Afghanistan. His leadership, kindness, and dedication left a lasting impact on those who knew him, and we're honored to carry his name forward. Passing Moscow's leash are his puppy raisers, Savannah and Vincent Ciccoli, retired Colonel of the United States Marine Corps. You have provided the foundation for Moscow's success, and we are so grateful for the love and support you have shown him.
My name is Matthew Estridge. I was in the U.S. Army for 5 years. I got out as a specialist, and this is my service dog, Pluto. Well, for me, I didn't feel like I deserved this gift, really. I thought this was for people that were extremely injured, and my injury's pretty bad. I mean, they caused me a lot of problems in my life. What I do is I get inside of my head and I just start spiraling. And with a dog like Pluto, he'll remind me to take it easy, to think about what I'm doing, to slow down. I'm doing a lot better than I think I am. And he's really good at teaching me those things. I've gone into stores and had kids come up to me and give me a hug. And then he introduced me to his whole family. And then his family's like thanking me. And then I went out to the parking lot and was just in tears, you know. It's just very impactful, meaningful stuff that I'll probably never forget happened because of these dogs. I mean, the main thing is that I would want people that are at home and that are at the end of the rope to keep fighting, because you never know what's down the road. Yeah, keep fighting.
Pluto came to WCC as a puppy through a partnership with Guiding Eyes for the Blind, arriving not only as a smart, handsome pup, but already carrying his given name, Pluto. Although he does not carry the name of a veteran, he carries the heart of many. The veterans in our community who worked with Pluto prepared him, along with those passing his leash, Pluto's puppy raisers, Pam Harris and CJ Sturgis.
My name is George. I go by Runner. Served 25 years in the military, United States Air Force, but served with all branches. And this is my new daughter, Lindsay. So it took a long time for me to reach out for a service dog. A lot of organizations offered it, and it was just not the right timing. and I was not in a good place, and I didn't want to be in a bad place with a service dog, because I know that's a big responsibility. So I went to another a Wounded Warrior program, and that's how I found out about Warrior Canine. I started inquiring, wasn't still really 100% that I was gonna do it. And then the ball started rolling, and I saw the process, heard more about them. And what I really love is that they were so thorough. I have some warriors that still I keep in contact with since Desert Storm to this day. And you know, they've been through the hard times with me. They've reached out to programs. A lot of them have gotten service dogs, and a lot of them I lost. And I think sometimes you get tired of repeating the cycle. You slip back. And so those of us who are still here survive because of programs like this. And I'm not just saying that. That's I lost a good friend. He had the same thought that I did, is he didn't get the service dog because he didn't want to let anybody down again. And he should have. My hope is to use Lindsay to reach other veterans.
WCC's Lindsay is named in honor of Army Specialist Lindsay Wilder, whose strength and determination carried her through basic training, even after a broken femur. She went on to serve in Kuwait as a certified TCA and CSO, balancing her service with family life when she was honorably discharged to raise her son while her husband was deployed. Passing Lindsay's leash are puppy raisers Hillary and Steve Claggett. Thank you both for your gift of the heart in preparing WCC's Lindsay for her new battle buddy.
Hi, my name's TJ. I'm an Army veteran, and this is my service dog, Kathy. Back in 2020, I started my med board process, and I ended up getting medically retired. I went through a couple different programs, but I think Wounded Warrior was actually who pointed me towards you guys. Ever since day one, it's the eye contact. I think she just knew that I was going to be her owner now. She's a sweetheart. Everybody here has been so helpful. Yeah, I was nervous. The long wait, then coming here, I was a little nervous, but then once I got here and realized how everyone here is so eager to help everyone. And then Kathy's great too, so. They called, I was actually at work on break luckily, so I got to answer the phone. We had like a short little 10-minute interview, and then they told me we were paired, and since then it moved really, really, really quick. Yep, when she's playing, you could definitely see the whites of her eyes. She looks like she's gonna like tackle you when she's running at you. She really knows how to, she likes to play hard. She could turn it off too. I have a pretty active work life, and then generally when I'm home, I'm not doing much. I think with her attitude, she's gonna fit right in. I mean, I live with my girlfriend and her 2 kids, and everyone at work's ready for her. I think she's gonna fit right in with everything, so. Oh, everybody wants to meet her. Even our state officials, we have state gaming officers, and they're already talking about getting her a license made for her. If I was gonna say anything, I'd just to tell any veteran that's thinking about it to go for it. The worst thing that's gonna happen is that someone's gonna say no. But if they think they need a service dog or they think they would help someone in their family, I think they should go for it.
WCC's Kathy is named for Lieutenant Colonel Kathy Repka, whose remarkable nursing career took her from caring for wounded soldiers in Vietnam to leading flight nurse training in the Air Force. She's known for her compassion, dedication, and leadership, especially during challenging times like base realignments. Kathy's leash is being passed by puppy raisers Julie and Olivia White and Katarina Coates. Thank you for the endless love and dedication to Kathy's success. Army veteran Michael and WCC's Rocky were not available to sit down for an interview, but he did have wonderful words to share. When asked what he was most looking forward to, having Rocky in his life, he plainly stated, "Knowing that he is going to be there with me every day. It's really as simple as that. He's Rocky, and he's amazing, but he's also laid back, cuddly, and his ability to be happy over the little things is perfect for me. He went on to answer that it was important knowing that his dog holds the name of a fellow veteran because it gives Rocky a story. Rocky has done really well settling in and enjoys playing with his two brothers, using his eyes to sucker his human family into cuddling him. And what he does is he puts his head on your leg. He looks over next to you to ask if he can cuddle. It's pretty adorable. I know the impact will change as we do more, but I have a good sense that Rocky will do nothing but make life much better. It is a daily occurrence to see his happy hops and excitement to play and help me with things, making every day a day with good moments, even if it's a simple thing. WCC's Rocky is named in honor of United States Army Specialist Robert "Rocky" Bleier, a former Notre Dame football star and Pittsburgh Steelers running back. After being severely wounded in Vietnam and told he'd never play again, Rocky made a remarkable comeback to help lead the Steelers to 4 Super Bowl victories. Passing Rocky's leash are puppy raisers Doug and Allie Fout and Dana and Adrian Riddell. Thank you for ensuring Rocky's success by providing him the love and training he needed to be best for his forever veteran.
I'm Joseph McComas, Marine Corps and Army veteran, currently retired, and this is my best friend, Fisher. When me and Fisher get home, I'm just looking forward to being me again. Being in the Marine Corps and the Army, being a father, there's a lot of toughness that you get put on. My girls think I'm the strongest man in the world just because I can hold them above, my head, with one arm, and there's just so much more that's going on underneath, that Fisher helped me with, and he's already helped me with, and it's just growing daily. Already encouraged me enough I'm gonna ask my girlfriend to marry me. She's been with me for 4 years, standing by my side, and been there through the hard therapy sessions and this whole process of meeting Fisher. And so the trainers here at WCC, we all got together, we come up with a plan, we've been training. So Fisher's gonna be involved in that process, and I'm gonna ask her to marry me. And I couldn't think of a best friend to be there with me than Fisher. Just being around him, his personality is so contagious. It's I don't want to go anywhere without him. He's like my best friend, and he is my best friend. He makes life more worth living. All the trainers and the people that's involved in Warrior K9 Connection, I know that y'all have helped so many people, but if you ever feel like that, you come into work and you say, if you could help one person or save one person's life, one veteran's life, then your life would be complete. I just want you to know that you've done it with me. And I know that I wouldn't be the man that I am today if it wasn't for being involved in this process during that time frame. And I love you guys so much. I consider y'all family as well.
WCC's Fisher 2 is named after Major Bryce Fisher, who had an impressive career balancing between football and military service. He played in the NFL, including a Super Bowl appearance, while also dedicating years to the Air National Guard as a leader in public affairs. Passing Fisher 2's leash are puppy raisers Tegan Kopelenko, Pamela Fox, and Lena Fang, all who helped make his training possible. Thank you so much, and congratulations.
My name is Nolan Odell, United States Marine Corps Sergeant, that's E5, and this is my service dog, Stu. The VA actually gave me a pamphlet about it at one of my mental health appointments. It it vouched how it helped with mental health, and that's really, really try anything, and this is a pretty big help so far. So, I like dogs, so kind of stared at her, she stared at me, a lot of eye contact for sure. They're definitely lifesavers. Probably make life, more livable in a sense. I can actually go places that I haven't actually gone for years. hang out with friends, see my family more often. Just live life a lot more, I guess, free, essentially. I live in a small town with like 8,000 people. So outside is really all there is, and a couple stores and whatnot, but it's an hour away. There's a lot more things to do. So, you know, once I actually get to that stage of comfort with Stu, I, bring it out there and hopefully experience a lot more than what a small town has to offer. I suppose the entire process of what it takes to essentially build the mentality and the thought process these dogs have is incredible. And I'm sure it changes like millions of people's lives, and I'm just lucky enough to have one, I suppose. I haven't slept so well in like years. The first time I was here and when I took her home, it was definitely a game changer. Oh, she's definitely in the bed. Yeah, she helps with nightmares and whatnot. Just having her by my side, it just kind of felt right,
WCC's Stu is named for Navy Captain Susan Stewart Miller, who devoted her life to nursing and service, first in Vietnam, then for over 30 years in the reserves. She led reserve units with dedication, supported nurses during Desert Storm, and earned a Navy Commendation Medal along the way. Today, she continues to give back through volunteer work, honoring veterans and the nursing community. Stu's leash is passed by puppy raisers Jane and Pat Hipsley, along with Angela and Matt Beebe. It is apparent that Stu received all the love, training, and support needed. Congratulations.
Hi, my name is Bridget Smith, and I was an Army captain. And this is my service dog, Mary Jean. Thought for sure she was gonna say like, she's gone to somebody else or something. And she said, and she's gonna be your service dog. And I was just like, what? She's not just my service dog. She's not just my partner, but she gives me hope, independence, and strength. Having her helps me navigate life in ways that I never thought was possible before. I always had just my certain places I went. And I found myself doing what she's I shower when she lays down, I eat when she eats, I get ready for bed when I see she's getting tired. And I remember texting one of my providers, I said, I think I'm on her schedule. And she was like, that's not a bad thing. Knowing that it's veterans helping veterans, it's just a safe environment, and it's just an understanding amongst us that we can just be ourselves and we don't have to explain what happened in detail. We're just support each other. I used to travel like crazy. I had no fear, and my world just got really small. So just this week, it feels very free, and I hope it continues. And I'm glad I have the support of everybody, and nobody's going away, and I live close. So that's very encouraging and feels good.
WCC's Mary Jean is named after Army Major Mary Jean Klein Martin, a 13-year veteran and proud Army family member. She served with distinction both stateside and overseas, earning 2 Army Commendation Medals, 3 Army Achievement Medals, the National Defense Service Medal, and the Expert Field Medical Badge. She has spent the last decade volunteering passionately with Warrior Canine Connection. Passing Mary Jean's leash is puppy raiser Jenny Ewald. Thank you so much for giving Mary Jean all the love and support she needed to be a successful partner for her forever veteran.
George Watson, U.S. Army, retired, 21 years of service. My rank was Master Sergeant, E8, and my service dog is Amber Lynn. When I reached out to Warrior Canine Connection, they couldn't have been more professional, and then I came for a site visit. There's a long driveway that enters the property, and as soon as you hit that driveway, there's a completely different energy from the everyday hustle and bustle. of the interstate and the surrounding communities. It's a great energy. The staff members that help me, they make you feel welcome, and that's something that can be very difficult for veterans, is to feel the professionalism. We want everything to go as we expect. We're always taught to help others, and it's okay to help ourselves, and this is bigger than me. We will be boating and swimming and doing outdoor activities, hiking, lots of fishing, and things that revolve around my family. I mentioned that I do a lot of boating, so I sent a picture to Warrior Canine Connection, and they did some training specifically with Amber Lynn in reference to entering and exiting a boat and boat time where I might be in a boat for hours. I watched a few videos after I figured out her name and did some research. That's an ultimate for a veteran, is to be held in recognition of a service dog. With Amber Lynn, she'll be a family dog and a service dog, and she's gonna have a great life.
WCC's Amber Lynn is named in honor of Army Specialist Amber Lynn Batista Lloyd, a U.S. Army combat medic who served 4 years, including a 15-month deployment to Iraq, where she earned the Combat Medical Badge for performance under fire. After returning home, she became a cheerleader for the Baltimore Ravens and now works as a technical fashion design contractor and dance team coach. Passing Amber Lynn's leash is puppy raiser Christy Vu. Amber Lynn is perfect because of your love and dedication to her. Congratulations.
My name is Derek Evangelista. I'm a retired active duty Navy senior chief, and I'm here with my military family support dog, Jim. We found Warrior Canine Connection. We called them, and it was amazing. They invited us up. It was right around the time of last year's graduation. So we came out for the graduation and got to meet the dogs, and I got to talk to some of the other veterans and listen to their story about how their dogs impacted them. And that's when I just told my wife, I said, yeah, this is something that we have to pursue. And so just having him around during the day, he's always very patient. So typically what I do is when I go start my work in the morning, we'll bring his bed into my office, and he'll just kind of spend the day with me. And, you know, he'll every once in a while, especially if he kind of gets some stress cues that I'm a little bit tense, he'll come up and, you know, just put his head on my knee or something like that, just to remind me that he's there. Or so that's been really nice having him around as well. I can tell you firsthand that I have a lot of friends that could have used this in their life before it was too late for them. I can just tell you, based on the impact he's had on me in just, you know, 3 or 4 months, it's been life-changing. Yeah, I gotta say that's the best part of my day, is after work and after dinner and cleanup and all the daily routine, you know, you finally get an opportunity just to sit down and relax, and then he just jumps up on, just lays his head on my lap in the recliner, and it's the perfect ending to every day.
WCC's Jim honors U.S. Marine Corps Colonel James M. Sims, a decorated veteran who served over 26 years, including combat in Vietnam and leadership across the Corps. After retirement, he continued his lifelong service by championing fellow veterans through the Purple Heart Scholarship Endowment and as National Commander of the Military Order of the Purple Heart. Jim's leash is proudly passed by puppy raisers Darcy LeBeau and WCC's very own Leah Schumann. Thank you so much for your time, support, love, and dedication in making sure Jim is perfect for his forever veteran.
Hi, I'm Freddie Galea. I'm a technical sergeant with the U.S. Air Force Reserve.
My name is Eliana.
And this is Duke, our military family support dog. So we lost our dog while I was deployed more than a year ago. And we needed to fill that void once the opportunity came out here at WCC, it was clear that we wanted to have a trained dog. We didn't know how much we missed to have a dog at home until we had Duke, and it was amazing to have him at home with us.
It was easy with him, nothing different. I mean, it was good after a year without Toby, and it was just simple, easy with him. I think it was a great transition between the training here and when we brought him home. I think it was perfect, thanks to the trainers. Yeah.
As a veteran, I do appreciate the fact that Duke was trained by other veterans. And it's not just the fact that he was trained by other veterans, but how other veterans have benefit from him as they're training him. To me, that's very important, because it's not just one dog for a military family. He actually has helped a lot of people in the past. I think the kids actually, they get the most out of him.
Emma brushes him every day, and Nolan does a reminder to feed him. Yeah, I took him to Sierra for the first time. He did perfect. It was great. He behaved amazing. Yeah.
At the end of the day, the training is for us, and we love that. We spent a whole week here, the family, all of us, and it was the best way that we could have spent spring break.
WCC's Duke 2 is named in honor of U.S. Army Staff Sergeant Robert Duke Hartsock, a Scout Dog platoon handler who served with the 25th Infantry Division in Vietnam. On February 23, 1969, he sacrificed his life by shielding others from an enemy satchel charge, continuing to fight until he succumbed to his wounds. For his extraordinary heroism, he was posthumously awarded the Medal of Honor, the only dog handler ever to receive this distinction. Our puppy raisers passing Duke's leash are Richard Stevens and Pam Govender, both who provided love and support to Duke during his training.
My name is Dan Kersey. I'm an Army chaplain. I'm a lieutenant colonel, and this is my military family support dog, Frank. So as a chaplain, obviously you hear a lot of stories, and you've seen a lot of things. You know, I've been in the trauma room downrange when my soldiers have come in wounded, and I've had a lot of people tell me their darkest secrets, and you can't share those things. You know, confidentiality is the key of what makes chaplains effective, because if people don't feel safe sharing with you, they're not going to tell you what they need to tell you so you can provide help. So over time, those sorts of stories can build up. They never really leave your head. And I've been able throughout my career to have people I can talk to appropriately about those things. So it has not weighed on me the way that it has on some of my other fellow chaplains. But that said, it can be a dark thing at times. And so to have somebody who you can come home to and just scratch his head and have him snuggle up and not care what you've dealt with over the course of the day and receive nothing but unconditional affection in return is great. Dogs are great at breaking down barriers. And so a chaplain with a dog is a great match, right? He's a ministry enhancement for me. They're gonna take the time to match the right dog for you. You're not taking a dog away from somebody else. If you feel like you have a need or there's an opportunity for you to have a dog that's gonna help your family or yourself, reach out, it's worth it.
WCC's Frank 2 honors U.S. Army Lieutenant Colonel Frank Finelli, a West Point graduate who served as a field artillery commander with the 82nd Airborne and later as special assistant to the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. A decorated veteran, he continues to support fellow service members through leadership roles with the Army Emergency Relief and Virginia's Veteran Services Foundation. Passing Frank's leash are puppy raisers Robert Morris, with Erica and Michael Johannick. WCC's Frank is exactly where he needs to be because of volunteer puppy raisers like you. Congratulations.
Kirk Nelson. I was in the Navy from 1991 to 1997, and this is College, our military family support dog. Yeah, he's been great. You know, the one thing, we talk about a little bit, and a lot of it's for, the service dogs and stuff, is talking about stress indicators and things like that. And it is amazing that it is something that he picks up on. And it can just be clasping the hands or tapping your foot or something like that. And I didn't really think I had any stress indicators at all. And, come to realize, oh yeah, maybe I do. Because every once in a while, this head will come in and split my hands up or something. Then he'll just come over and, take your mind off of whatever you're thinking about. And it's been amazing, yeah. Yeah, and I'd say same thing for my wife. Like he'll go over and picks up on her stress. And, she's actually going through chemo right now. And so I think that's been helping a little bit just because, there's somebody there that's also kind of looking after her when I'm at work. And that's been a lot of help having him, yeah. I give a world of credit to the puppy parents, to the trainers, to the veterans that helped out. I mean, he's, when it's time to work, he knows it's time to work. And, he's responsive and he knows what to do. And it's pretty impressive. He is also, very loving, constantly wants to be around us. Even in the car, he'll be in the back seat, but his head is on the divider. So I can always, if I put my arm somewhere, I know his head's around there somewhere. So he's very close always, yeah.
WCC's College honors U.S. Army National Guard Sergeant Darren College, who traded a 9-year NFL career and a Super Bowl win with the Green Bay Packers for military service. He deployed to Afghanistan with the 101st Airborne Division on a medevac team and continues to serve as a reservist. Thanks to his puppy raiser, Sandy Rosenberg, WCC's College will be able to serve the entire Nelson family. Congratulations.
I'm Sharon Rambos.
I'm John Rambos, and this is Landry, our veteran support dog.
So I went to WCC looking for some help. I was taking care of my mother. My father had passed. He was a veteran, and I needed some guidance. They had this dog there, and the dog just came right up to me, and it was just like everything I needed at the moment. And I don't know if it was Sarah there, it said, you know what, we could use some volunteers. And I said, you know what, I know the perfect person. I was going to tell Faith about it.
I met Landry on one of my volunteer days, and he was like the funnest thing ever. We went and did outside work and did all like fun training stuff, and I thought he was so much fun. He knew everything. I felt like he was like the smartest dog in the world.
So as soon as Landry showed up, he just entwined himself in our hearts and just became part of the family for a week. We became his second home, more or less. So we got to watch Landry twice, and every time we'd see him at the WCC when we went to visit or something, it was just a joy to see him. And then the opportunity came for a placement, and of course we said, yes, we'll take him.
He said Landry had been redesignated to be a military family support dog. And would you? And before he finished the sentence, John and I both said, yes.
WCC's Landry honors First Lieutenant Thomas Landry, who flew 30 combat missions in World War II and survived a crash landing in Belgium. He later became the first head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, winning 2 Super Bowls and earning a place in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Landry's puppy raiser is WCC's very own Cheyenne Wild. In addition to all the great work you do for WCC, you have clearly shown the love and attention he needed in order to be perfect for his new family.
Hi, my name is Wayne Stinchcomb. I'm a retired Army chaplain from Maryland National Guard. This is Princey, my family support dog. So there's a newsreel about Princey, the dog, meeting Princey, the veteran. So Princey is named after a World War II Marine veteran, female, who trained gunnery to Marines in World War II. So I thought that was pretty amazing to have a female Marine gunnery in the World War II era to train Marines. So Princey the veteran, she got to meet Princey. That was the video or the newsreel where Princey met Princey, her namesake, and I fell in love with that. I tell that story. For me, I think that's pretty amazing that each dog is named after a veteran, connecting to a veteran. What better way to honor a veteran? You have veterans training the dog that was named after a veteran, that the dog's going to a veteran. Wow, how awesome is that? But I really met Princey, and it was the Memorial Day walk. And they let me walk Princey. And I didn't expect, she was just wonderful. Like, we connected. And like, but I didn't think nothing of it. Like, it was just, I'm walking, this is the dog they gave me. It was pretty awesome. And the next thing I know, we got to meet Princey. And I think the connecting with us throughout the whole process was really great. They stayed connected, they kept seeking out, they didn't give up. So the vet, I would say the vets don't get upset if it takes a little longer, because it's worth it. Your life will be changed. And I think it's amazing. I think that's the really thing I want to say, convey, ultimately is like, your dog becomes this partner, this family, this connection that's different than humans. And just be patient, be open, because it's worth it.
WCC's Princey is named in honor of U.S. Women's Marine Corps Corporal Betty Princey Sims, who joined the Marines during World War II to serve her country at a time when women in the Corps were rare. She trained as a gunnery instructor, taught music, and created choirs to boost morale at military installations. Later, she continued supporting service members and their families worldwide, dedicating her life to service and education. WCC's Princey's leash is passed by puppy raiser Leah McCann. Congratulations on Princey's placement, and thank you for your dedication and support to her success.
My name's Dr. Sarah Brisson. I'm a psychologist at the Little Rock VA in Arkansas. I work in the palliative care department, and this is our new facility dog, Wolf. I felt instantly connected to him. I hope he feels the same. Maybe he'll tell you otherwise, but that's probably the biggest concern, was that we just be able to develop a strong bond so that we can be a strong team working together to serve our veterans. So I work within the palliative care department, which Wolf will be a part of. And so with that, we have the umbrella of palliative care. That makes up about 90% of what we're doing. The other 10% is hospice care, just trying to wrap up the veteran and their family member while they're going through this, and providing as much support as possible. That's really where Wolf comes in perfectly. So many of our veterans have had animals, had dogs, currently have dogs, really missing their dogs, and just being able to see a really wonderful smiling face that's there to give unconditional love, not judging them, not caring what they're bringing to the table. That is really wonderful at helping it feel just a little bit more like a home environment. Thinking about even just the research that has been done to show that oxytocin, those really feel-good hormones, do increase with human-animal interactions. Even just thinking about how the attention shift. You know, when we have immense pain, we're usually focusing all of our attention on it, versus bringing in something that's a really positive, healthy distraction, such as bringing Wolf in. You can take their mind off the pain, even if it's just for a second, to show that hope that pain does not rule your life entirely. We can interrupt it. We can interrupt it in really positive ways. And I can already imagine scenarios where veterans are saying, I completely forgot that I've had this pain in my leg, or these feelings, because it just got wiped away with this positive interaction with Wolf.
WCC facility dog Wolf is named in honor of U.S. Marine Corps Sergeant Ken Wolf, who served 2 years in Vietnam as a helicopter dog gunner. After his service, he dedicated his life to wildlife conservation, co-founding the Grounded Eagle Foundation to rehabilitate and educate the public about birds of prey. Sergeant Wolf passed away in 2015, leaving a lasting legacy of service and dedication. Wolf's training was supported by puppy raisers Paul and Susan Colsey, Lynn Manuel, and Elaine Papasvaras. Congratulations to all of you for making WCC's Wolf a success.
My name is Roberto Capuno. I work here at Setter and Barfoot Veterans Care Center. I'm the culinary director, and this is our facility dog, Tayomi. So Setter and Barfoot Veterans Care Center is here in Richmond, Virginia, and we have 160 residents. 40 of them are in a memory care center. So Tayomi works in the memory care center, and as she's walking through, a resident might just walk her. And Tayomi's like, hey, I could say hello to these folks, and the employees are being really engaging. Same thing with the residents. I noticed that a lot of the folks really want to be next to her. Tayomi come visit the residents. So it works both ways, not just for Tayomi, but also for our residents and our staff. There was one opportunity where Tayomi and I were coming through, and we had a resident that was transitioning. And the spouse of the resident, we went in there, we just wanted to greet them, just say hello, introduce Tayomi as our facility dog. The resident's spouse was very, very excited and asked if Tayomi can get on the bed with the resident. When Tayomi jumped on the bed and lied right next to him, the resident actually started moving his hand. And it was really, really emotional. And the very next day, we did the same, repeated the same thing again. And the spouse was extremely, extremely happy. The resident did transition, and the spouse came back out to us and said that this might have been the best time that during this transition, that he was very, very happy. The reason I'm in the culinary business is because I want to serve. And so to have this opportunity to have Tayomi with me is that now she's serving me and also serving our residents at the same time. So I don't know if it's an innate part of me to want to try to help people out, but having her with me and being able to come into work and she just being herself and me being myself, I just feel that it's a blessing.
WCC's Toyomi is named in honor of U.S. Navy Captain Dr. Cynthia Toyomi Azuna McCree, who served 35 years as a Navy OBGYN, educator, and strategist, including roles at NNMC Bethesda, US UHS, and the Pentagon. Inspired by her upbringing overseas and gratitude for her country, she dedicated her career to medical service, mentorship, and advancing diversity in the Navy. Her leadership reflects the legacy of Japanese-American Nisei soldiers who paved the way for her service. Passing Toyomi's leash are WCC's very own Sarah Olson and Tammy and Bill Crozier. Thank you so much for your love, dedication, and support in making sure that WCC's Toyomi is the best in her new role as a facility dog.
My name is Michael Hartzell. I am the Senior Area Operations Manager for USO Mid-Atlantic. We have our first ever facility dog. This is Pete, and we're happy to have him be a part of our day-to-day operations here at the USO. We're the only military nonprofit that can actually operate on DoD installations, meaning we have brick and mortar centers. We can go abroad to in the field setups. I saw an opportunity that we could potentially work with WCC in a more extensive manner. We're going in the direction of making canines one of our core programs globally because of the benefits it has, the healing powers it has. It just makes people feel happy. In doing so, we're allowed to have dogs in our center every day. I've kind of just seen the positive impacts of that. We're pretty fortunate here having WCC in the building. We have a lot of dogs in the center, and it really just brings a positive mood. It brings, if you're having a bad day, who doesn't like to, hug on a dog for a few minutes? So it's really been very beneficial for everybody in the building, because work can be stressful. People are going through a lot of things these days. Service members, spouses, children, whoever is coming into the building. I'm also taking some of the other locations I oversee. I've taken them to our Dulles Airport Lounge. I've taken him to our Reagan Airport Lounge. He frequently goes to our warehouse when I have to check in, to stop in and check on operations. But yeah, he's here at the center every day. He's become kind of a household name here now. We support canine programs is a huge kind of front-running thing we're doing right now because of the impact it has with just the emotional wellness of people. It's like, I'm just gonna do it, because how could we not, right? This is a great opportunity to show the benefits, and here we are. And I think it's going to lead to a lot of really good opportunity between the USO and WCC down the road.
WCC's Pete is named in honor of U.S. Army Captain Frederick Peter Nell, who served with distinction in Vietnam, earning the Bronze Star and Army Commendation Medal. Known for his quiet strength and dedication, he inspired respect and support for fellow service members throughout his career. Captain Nell's pride in service, love of family, and devotion to dogs leave a lasting legacy celebrated through Pete. Pete's leash is being passed by 3 dedicated puppy raisers, Pam Harris and WCC's own Cheryl Bingham and Sarah Joel Gore. Congratulations for all of your contributions in making sure that Pete will be the best facility dog.
My name's Ryan Rogers. I'm a pulmonary critical care physician at the Lebanon VA Medical Center in Lebanon, Pennsylvania, and this is Shelly, our facility dog. The Lebanon VA is great. It's a big facility. It keeps expanding. We have a lot of outpatient clinics, so primary care, a lot of subspecialties. We have inpatient units, and then most importantly, we have long-term care. That's their home, and their home doesn't include a dog. So, and I'm sure a lot of them had pets and animals growing up, and I think seeing this will bring them right back and make them more comfortable, make their current home feel like a little bit more of a home. So I'm hoping that Shelly just showing up will bring them joy, happiness, and just improve their day. So I think Shelly, specifically for the outpatient units, I think it's just kind of going to the waiting room, just greeting the veterans waiting. They're stressed about whatever they're going to be doing with their physician or whatever the reason they're there. A lot of our veterans have PTSD, anxiety, depression. They're going through a lot, they've been through a lot, and that's an understatement. I think she was trained by the general public. I think she would not be as ready as what she is now when she's exposed to veterans that have been through just about everything and anything. So I think she'll be comfortable being able to interact with those veterans, knowing how with the previous interactions she's had, she'll be able to soothe and be able to make them feel comfortable and right being at the Lebanon VA Medical Center. She's just a wonderful overall dog, and she'll just be a perfect facility dog for the Lebanon VA.
WCC's Shelly 2 is named in honor of U.S. Air Force Captain Michelle Metzger Parsons, who served as the first female flight surgeon assigned to an Air Force fighter squadron and flew with test pilots at the Night Vision Test Center. She deployed to Bosnia, Herzegovina, and Kuwait, and earned the NATO Medal and Armed Forces Service Medal. Captain Parsons continues to support veterans today, volunteering to ensure their voices and interests are heard. Passing Shelly's leash are puppy raisers Tony Morelli and Becky Hall. It is because of your love and support and dedication to her training that she will be a great facility dog.
Hi, I'm Kevin Rumley, Combat Wounded Marine and Program Director for the Buncombe County Veterans Treatment Court. And this is our facility dog, Rusty. Rusty's gonna be a part of every single thing that we do at Veterans Treatment Court. He'll be in the courtroom with our veterans. He's going to be in my office meeting one-on-one with the veterans, meeting with their families. But also Rusty is gonna be part of the entire courthouse, meeting with courthouse staff, meeting with children who may have to testify. So really there's no part of our community in Asheville that Rusty won't touch. When we are interacting, our entire trauma that we bring to this situation and our bodies screaming, "I'm not safe," ever, we can begin to feel safe with these dogs. And to me, that's the miracle of this relationship. Having been injured at age 18 in combat and being told by doctors I'll never walk again, undergoing 32 surgeries and my life forever being changed. Even though it's been 2 decades, I carry that every single day. And how I interact with the world is shaped by that from moment to moment. And so Rusty's very much going to be helping the community and the courthouse, but also just keeping me grounded and regulated in this body that was forever changed by war. And that's the gift that WCC provides, is not just healing in the community, but healing at home.
WCC's Rusty, who is named in honor of U.S. Army Staff Sergeant Rusty Hunter Christian, a Green Beret who served with distinction in Afghanistan and was posthumously awarded the Bronze Star and Purple Heart. He is remembered for his dedication to service, love of the outdoors, and devotion to his family. Staff Sergeant Christian's legacy lives on through his children and the many lives he touched. Because of the love and support that Tony Glander and Tegan Kopolenko have instilled in WCC's Rusty, he too will have dedication to service, love of the outdoors, and devotion to his new family. Congratulations. WCC's Harry, with puppy raiser and caretaker Catherine Kane. WCC's Amanda, with puppy raiser Tracy Ballard and caretaker Carrie Meyer. WCC's Erica, with puppy raiser Robert Morris and caretaker Janine and John Salamoni. WCC's Star, with puppy raiser and breeder caretakers Lydia and Greg Dean. WCC's Nikki, with puppy raiser and breeder caretaker Ikeva Zerfas. WCC's Dash, with puppy raiser and caretaker Desiree Kirby, with support from Olney Sandy Spring Veterinary Hospital.
What's really important and needs to be said more is the care and consideration that WCC puts in for our dogs. It's not all dogs are the same. Every dog is different. And for our dogs that do enter a different career, maybe explosives detection or some of these novel detection programs, most of these dogs end up living with handlers who are veterans and their families. So when you think about this, these dogs are incredible family members for a veteran and their family, but also not only enhancing the veteran's family, but also enhancing that veteran's career and working together as a team to keep people safe. Can't get much better than that. And if you've ever raised one of WCC's pups, please know that whatever career that dog was destined for, they have and they will continue to provide life-changing support. And there is no possible way that we could ever thank you enough for the most unselfish gift of the heart that you could provide to our veterans and their families.
Congratulations to all of the graduates of Warrior Canine Connections Class of 2025. We are so proud of these graduates and so glad you are here to celebrate them with us. Your support makes these life-changing partnerships possible. Every WCC dog, past and present, is out there making a real difference, bringing hope, healing, and connection to the veterans and military families they serve. As you think back on the stories you've heard today, know that it is you who makes the Warrior Canine Connection possible.